Started.
What's up, everybody? This is your man, DJ Square, not from the DJ Information Group. And let me tell you, what we have here today is what I call a history lesson that's about to go down. And we got two gentlemen, DJ Tony Crush is in the house from their legendary Cold Crush Brothers. And we got my man, Curtis Sherrod here as well. And they're going to take us through all kinds of stuff all the way back from 1975. DJ Tone Crush said he's going to talk to us about. So with enough being said, of course, I've already said his name, but it's only proper that I say it again. DJ Tony Crush. What's up, my man? How you doing?
What's up, sir? How you?
All is
What's
good,
going
man.
on?
Curtis Sherrod, what's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm lovely. I'm Lisa Lovely.
That's all right. Well, let me tell you, we really appreciate you guys taking the time out to really come in and join the conversation and allow us to really learn about you guys, because it really takes the people that were there to really to be able to speak on it. You know what I mean? And go from there. So without further ado, I just want to say thank you again. Thank you for coming. Thank you for what we're about to embark on with you all. And I'll just say this, DJ Tony Crush.
How you doing, sir?
Cold Crush Brothers. Man,
Yeah.
I was doing some research, man, and I was like sitting back, and now I know you started a little bit earlier, but then 1978, I was like, okay, at 1978, how old was I? And I started thinking, man, I was 9 years old. Checking y'all out, watching y'all do y'all things, watching y'all do the moves, watching y'all harmonize, watching y'all do everything, listening to what y'all was saying. Everything, man. But for people that may not know who you are or how you have made your mark in the history in the culture of hip hop, I would love for you to start back there and go, like you said, 1975. You can start it from then and then bring it all forward as we have this conversation. And of course, where Curtis, he can inject and you guys bounce back and forth. That's beautiful as well. So, sir, the floor is yours.
Well, I started with a group called the Brothers Disco. My best friend was DJ Breakout. So I got down with Breakout and them when it was just KK Rockwell. It wasn't no Funky Four at that time. It was just KK Rockwell. And we organized the group and we started building the Funky Four. Which is KK Rockwell, Shy Rock, Keith, and Raheem, which later Raheem left and became a Furious Five. That's where I met my man Curtis at. He was down with a different crew. I'll let him tell that story. But we was uptown in the Bronx. We built up our sound system, and the sound system was called the Mighty Sasquatch. And it's still a legendary sound system at this time. But later on, when I broke off and I started the Cold Crush Brothers with a Puerto Rican DJ named DJ Charlie Chase, and we formed the Cold Crush Brothers and the Cold Crush 4 MCs. I was a graph writer before. The big thing about hip hop, it wasn't hip hop when we was doing it. It was just us jamming. It wasn't hip hop. We was just doing our thing the way we thought we wanted to do it and how we wanted to do it. And then when big company and records came in, it sort of kind of changed. The culture of hip hop has never changed. The game of hip hop changed several different times. So you got to be careful what you're looking for, because
Right.
the culture is always real and from the heart. It's not something you do, it's how you live. So it's a difference. It is a difference. So me growing up, I met Breakout in Stevenson High School. At the time, it was me, Breakout, Love Buzz Starsky, Africa Bambaataa, Tila Rock, and Andre Harrell. We was all in the same high school at the same time. And you know, people, if you don't know those 6 names, you gotta do your research to find out who they are. Kurt, you got something to add?
Yeah, for me, it was amazing because I was a little younger. And so Breakout had a younger brother whose name was Jeffrey. And so I would love to go to Jeffrey's house because Breakout was his brother. And in the basement, the Funky Four Brothers Disco would be rehearsing. So I'd be like a little mouse who just discovered a big piece of cheese. I'd sit in the corner and watch them rehearse. And it was amazing. This is way back in the 70s. Yo, they had mic stands. I was like, wow, these are rappers, but they got mic stands. They all had Shure microphones. Those were the top of the line microphones. Each microphone came in a white attaché case. So these cats would roll up with their little white attaché cases, hook them up to the mic stands. The DJ Breakout had an older brother. His name was Darnell. They used to call him Jazzy D. He was the manager. He used to rock the echo chamber, you know? And so the buzz was, yo, they're gonna be on TV. And I'm like, get out of here. There's no way they're gonna be on TV. Yet and still, Brothers Disco was the first hip hop group ever on television. The block was on fire. We was like, yo, turn to Saturday Night Live. I can't believe they opening for Blondie on Saturday Night Live. And this is back in the day. And so hip hop was just, for me, just crazy, crazy, amazing thing. Tony has always been my uncle in hip hop. You know, whenever there's any problems or whenever you needed some support or whenever you needed some professionalism, Tony has always been there. And I just want to say it's great to have first generation hip hop people speaking because they're going away. There's not going to be a lot of first generation people like Tone available soon. So I'm so glad he's here to provide expert commentary to all of y'all. And with that being said, I got a question for you, Tone. In your opinion, what was the first song you heard that made you realize that hip hop was a real thing? The first song that, yo, this is different. This is hot. What was that song that did it for you?
Well, in 74, 75, I stepped into a Cool Herc party. And I was working in the record store. My cousin had a record store. I was working in the record store.
Which record store?
The record store was called Three Stop Record Shop. And we have moved up on Burnside at University. The He Below was on Burnside and Jerome. My god brother said, yo, have you ever heard of this guy named Cool Herc? I said, no. He said, well, I'm going to take you to his party. And when we stepped in the party, it was like the world changed. So I'm in there and I'm hearing all this music that I'm not selling in the record store. And I'm like, what is he playing? So when I went over by the DJ booth and it was like, half of the DJ booth glass was painted black. So I had to tiptoe to see the turntable. But Herc already had the tape over the name of the record. So now I gotta look at the album covers, try to catch the album covers as he pulling them out. First thing that I heard that changed the whole situation was Melting Pot. He played Melting Pot because it wasn't no scratching and cutting. It was playing it from the beginning to the end. He played Melting Pot, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" Not even thinking it's jazz. I'm just amazed that the way the music was hitting you, it was like it was teaching you a lesson. And this is what I don't understand about b-boys and stuff at this time. like when you dance to music back in those days, you learned the music and you hummed along with the music, or you mouthed the music while you was dancing, and you went with the music, like you connected with the music. A lot of times I see these guys b-boying now and they just going through moves. They not vibing with the music. So it's a whole lot of things that Hurricane Band played that you don't even hear today. I just did a record sale Sunday and I was playing joints and the dude was like, yo, what is that? And I said, you never heard this? I said, this is the original music that started hip hop. And it's about 100 records that don't be played now in hip hop parties that started hip hop.
Yeah.
So Melting Pot grabbed me, and then he put on the Apache, you know, Bill Withers. He was playing Bill Withers, Santana, Jay Giles Band, Bob James. That's what Herc was playing in his parties at the beginning.
So
did Herc have a real setup? Like, what kind of equipment did he have?
Herc had a Technique 1100As.
Oh, he had the 1100. Those were with the rubber bands, right?
No. Those the one with the 3-inch plate off the thing.
Oh, so he was official off rip. What kind of mixer?
He had the GLI. GLI was the hot thing back then.
Okay,
He had the 3800, the first 10-inch mixer that was made by GLI. Breakout and Baron them, they had the 3880, the wider one. Herc had the 3800. I got it in the basement. I got one in the basement right now.
Wow.
So
and what's crazy about that? Like, in order to be with a crew back then, you just couldn't get down. You had to provide a service. You know, you had to be like a crate boy and carry the milk crate and just be able to maybe hand the DJ the record. For me, believe it or not, one of my first jobs, I remember Breakout and Baron and you and the whole crew was like, yo, Kurt, when you ride the train, when you rode the 2 train, the 4 train, the 5 train, the 1 train, the 9 train, if you sat in the seat, if you put your hand under the seat, there was a hole. If you put your finger in the hole, you could lift the whole seat up. And we would have a Phillips screwdriver. And with that Phillips screwdriver, we would undo the screws and pull out speakers. We would build sound systems from the train speakers on the train. And it got to the point, I was so proficient at it, I could ride the train from Gun Hill Road and by 180th Street, because it was one long, unending stop from Gun Hill to 180. I'd have 2 speakers. I put that in my school bag. I run uptown. Yo, Breakout. I got 2 speakers. Keep it up, young buck. You may get through after all.
Hey, listen. The GLI was the top thing in our circle. GLI and Clubman mixers. When we went in places and we had to use Bozak, because Bozak was the rotary mixers, we still made it happen. But Clubman 1-1 and that GLI was the mixer to have back then. Those
you know what? And all that, you know, with the equipment back in the day, you guys are bringing back some memories on that, for sure. And all along with that, I just wanted to make sure that I reiterated something that you just said. You said that music really taught lessons, you know, and that was really important as well, and how people connected to it. And, you know, they broke out those break beats. And you and Curtis, you brought up something that took me back home as well, where like I've always shared with the group, I started at 12 years old carrying crates, you know, just so that I could be down. And a lot of people that started in the game, that's how they were able to get in to the shows. You know, you carry these crates, you know, to help the DJ, you know what I'm saying? Just so you could stand behind the rest with the crew and have your arms crossed, standing there, because, you know, you want to be a part of them, you know?
Yeah, you want to be behind the ropes.
Yeah, you be behind the ropes. Yeah, man.
Yo,
So you
hey,
guys are taking
it
us
was
back
no
on that.
joke carrying 40 crates of records in the party, in
Yeah.
and out. You got to take them back out.
Yep. Yep. And then when you talked about, how it for you guys right back then, it wasn't hip hop, it was just you guys were jamming because there was, just like in the BX, I grew up in Brooklyn, and everywhere you went, especially on the weekends, you could just, when you walked out of your projects, you could just throw your ears up and just listen, and you can hear the music, and you would follow the music to that jam. That's the
Yep.
way, that's how you knew what was going on, block parties or any of that back in the day. So, and that right then to me was the good life,
Yeah.
that
What
was
what
really the good life.
what
And you
part
was
of
talking
Brooklyn?
about the
I was
crate.
in Bed-Stuy, East New York.
Oh,
Okay.
you was
Yeah.
talking about the crates and the milk crates with the records. I
Yeah.
remember Breakout actually had Mark the 45 King. He was his record guy. He was
Yeah.
the crate boy. Mark the
Well,
45
well,
King.
well, well.
Wow.
Mark was would find breaks and bring them. He was his record boy that found breaks. Pookie was his actual record boy. But we used to use the color coded the milk crates.
Yeah.
The beige ones was for slow music. The brown ones was for all right, and the red ones was for the hot stuff.
Yeah, remember how, well, this is how we used to get our crates. There was this like these couple dairies, because remember back in the day they had these dairies that you used to
Yeah,
go and they would sell the milk and stuff, and then they didn't want to do anything with the crates.
yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. So then they would say you could get the crates. You just got to come and get them. But they would say if you come get them, you can't take one. You got to take them all. So at that time they may have 10 or 20 crates. So we was like, okay, cool. We'll just share them with whoever is there as long as we got what we needed. So we would
Yeah.
always go to the dairy, like over, and when I was in East New York, we used to go to, I don't know if you guys remember Starlight City.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, we used to go down to that dairy over there in Starlight City, and they had all those milk crates, man, and we just filled them up to the point where the whole crew, we had like 40 crates, and it was just crazy, just carrying all those crates. And sometimes the crates was like 20, 25 pounds, but you know what? You did it, and you carried those crates because you wanted to be down, and at some particular time, you were going to have your shot. And I got my shot, and it was just a beautiful thing when I played my very first one, my very first song. And my very first song that I ever scratched on was "Impeach the President."
Okay.
Oh,
And that was it for me.
You,
And as a matter of fact, Rod Flash just hooked me up
okay.
a 45 of it.
oh.
Well, he wanted Roy C. just passed away, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Blessings.
Yes, indeed. But man, in talking about, all the things that you guys were doing, and just one of the things that was consistent with you guys is that you guys knew how to take it to the point where other crews were really watching you guys, because you guys were some of the first ones that you guys were stepping out. You guys were dapper. And like Curtis said, you guys had they had the mic stands. You guys had the routines and the harmonizing. So
See, with the Funky Four, we had contracts. Jazzy D had us sign contracts with the position we held in the crew.
Time out. Tony, real rap. I still have an application from way back then. You had to fill out an application to join the crew. I still have one of those applications from 1978.
Wow.
Okay. Now you see that, right? We was trying to be as organized as kids could be at that time.
Right.
So we used to go into parties, and I would set up the system, and I would set the microphones up, and I would just hang the cord in the microphone. And the MCs, when we started our show, each MC used to walk up with his mic case and pop open his mic case and plug his own mic in and start the show. That's how we would start the show. Each MC would come up, plug his own mic in, and then start testing it. and while the other one was putting his in, and then they would start harmonizing, testing it to go into the show.
That's dope. So moving forward a little bit, let's talk about the notorious movie Wild Style.
Okay. Okay.
What was
Wild
that
Style.
like, my man? What was that like?
Wild Style. You know what happened? We was at the PAL and we was doing an MC convention one night.
We won that night. I just want to say we won that night.
Okay. So this white lady comes up. She comes in and she sits over us, over the stage. And she just watching what's going on. And then she gets up and leave. 2 months later, Fair Fry Freddy said, and that was Blondie. They brought her to one of our jump offs, and she got the idea. And then they started, because Rodney and the Funky Four was good with Fair Fry Freddy, so that's how they got to open up for Blondie and them. And, you know, that's a whole nother story. Blondie tried to get them from Sugar Hill, but they was torn and didn't want to leave. But, you know, the parties was crazy because we was putting them together ourselves. We was promoting them ourselves. We was working the door while the party was going on. We was collecting our own money. And we got away from that. And it's sad that we got away from it, but we didn't know that was our downfall, to let that control go. And you know, now everybody said, well, we shoulda, coulda, but we try to get more adults into our situation to help us, but they didn't know what it was that we was doing, and they couldn't understand what we was doing. When they came to us for Wild Style, they gave us a contract. When I took it home to my mother was like confused, like, why would they want y'all in the movie? Because they didn't know what we was doing. You know, that's all they knew. We was making a lot of noise that they didn't want to hear. So when I gave her the contract, she didn't even take time to read it. So I signed it myself. Now, during the movie, Charlie Ahern didn't have no strip. So he would just say, yo, say what you would say in this type of situation. Just be y'all. You know, he would just let us do us. It added excitement to Wild Style because Wild Style was more like a graffiti documentary.
Right. So
when they put us into it, it added excitement and it brought it up. It was good making it, and it was even better when we toured Japan in '83. We toured Japan on the Wild Style tour in '83. So when people are telling me, yeah, I started in hip hop, I'm like, dude, I was touring Japan in '83. You know, what are you saying?
Yeah, man. That right there is totally dope to be. And like I say, you know, I was still a young buck at that particular time, you know, getting in, doing it. But, you know, just looking at you guys, looking at the greats, just watching you guys do your thing and just keeping it real, man. That, you know, hip hop, I mean, it just really started to really become part of my fabric and just became part of my soul, and seeing what you guys were doing. And it just was just inspiring to me. So salute to you, you know, for
listen, if you're not, well, my feelings, if you're not teaching, you're not actually doing hip hop. If you're not leaving somebody thinking, you're not doing enough. Because you always supposed to be teaching, elevating, and sharing with people in hip hop.
That's a beautiful thing.
You can't keep it to yourself. You gotta spread it.
Yeah, and
you gotta share it.
That's a beautiful thing. And you know what? I'm glad you say that, because as part of the DJ information group, when you read our entry, we automatically say we're a group that's about teaching, learning, sharing, uplifting the members and the culture, and being continue to stay plugged into the history. That is literally what our when you join, what it says about us. So that's
Listen,
beautiful to
they
hear that
not
come
gonna
from a
teach
great
us.
black
We got to
yourself.
teach each other.
Yes,
They
sir.
not teaching us. They programming us.
Yes, sir.
We got to teach each other.
That is definitely right. That is 100% right. So that's just really good coming from you. And I know I know I got several DJs on here that are going to tap into even more of your history. And I see, and Curtis has already started tapping into it with the equipment, what was out there, what was played, what was going on.
Well,
So,
Curtis, he MC Maxie Ray. He was a junior. He was under the tutelage. He watched and he learned and he got some joints and stuff. So he been around.
yes, yes.
He been around, and it's like I tell people, like, yo, I don't try to act like no superstar around nobody. If it's 100 DJs around me, go ahead and play. Go ahead and play. I done played enough. But if I got to get on, I will get on.
That's
If it got
beautiful.
to be some teaching done, I will try to share knowledge of what this thing is. When I came into disco fever, Russell Simmons used to come out the back and say, yo, explain to me what this is y'all doing. That's what Russell used to ask me.
That's dope. That's big too. You
I
know,
want to give a big shout out to Arrow Pumpkin, King of the Beats. He was from Uptown. He was one of our friends. We done seen a lot of cats go, man. It's I thank God that I'm still around. I
right.
done seen a whole lot of cats move on, pass on.
Yeah.
That had their whole foot in this game, that helped build this game.
That
And,
makes
And to give props to Errol, he was also the first dope, real hip hop drummer. They used to
yeah,
call him King of the Beat, Pumpkin, King of the
yes.
Beat, Edward.
hmm. So, you mentioned at the beginning when we started talking, you said that the culture is not what changes, but the game changes.
All the
So,
time.
exactly. So, as from what you've seen from when you started way back when, and you laid you laid some of the groundwork for what has happened throughout the culture, and moving up as far as the game as well. What is your take on the game today?
Whew. Hey, listen, as long as I'm telling the truth, I don't feel like I'm dissing nobody. Long as I'm telling the truth. I think the game is so watered down it ain't even fit to be called Kool-Aid right now. That's how watered down it is. That's how dumbed down it is. That's how unfocused it is. Anybody that understands music and a way of life, it's all got to do with numbers and timing. When we went in the studios, the producer and the engineer job was to teach us how to make a record so it was danceable. A lot of this music is not danceable because it's not put together right. So I'm really like I be looking at a lot of stuff on Facebook and stuff, and they be asking a whole bunch of questions about this MC. Is he underrated or overrated? And I'm like, who is he? I don't even know like 80% of these people that's out now because their music is not danceable. Their music is not credible. They don't understand coming in on the one. They don't understand being on time. The tempo. It's hard to dance to. It's hard to even listen to. As far as I feel. Some might call me an old man or whatever. I done heard it all. You know, when hip hop started, it was jazz, funk, rock and roll, Latin music. We done heard all kinds of music dealing with hip hop. So age ain't got nothing to do with it. You know, the OJ said message in the music. The music don't have any messages no more.
Mm. Can you say that again, sir?
The OJs made a record called Message in the Music. The music does not have any messages anymore.
Amen. Indeed, indeed. Um, I made some notes, but I see that now we have the room is built up quite a bit. So I don't want to take up all the time. Um, and I have a couple questions at the end, but I want to start allowing some of these DJs that are in here to tap into you and experience your answers and your opinions as well. So I'm going to start off by introducing you to the primary admin of the group, and that's DJ Rod Flash.
Good day, sir.
Good. How are you?
I'm all right, sir. How you doing?
First, I want to say thank you.
You're
And you're like
welcome.
one of the people I put this group together for. And when I say teaching and learning the history of hip hop, you like one of the pioneers of it. And these are kind of, and you tell me stuff that I know a lot of it, and some stuff I didn't know.
Okay.
So I'm very humbled to be on this call. And I have a question for you. How do you feel that the artist is taking the DJ out of the picture?
Well, they trying to take the DJ out the picture. Well, it's not actually them. It's big company. It's big company. They money holes. They money holes, and they just going for the dollar. There's no, like, my word is my bond. My brother is my brother. My brother keeper. You know, I get up in the morning with you. I leave home with you. I come back home. I make sure we both make it back home. They not doing that because they wasn't raised like that. They selling out. They going for self. They acting like it ain't no more money out there. It's enough money out there for everybody. So why would you compromise yourself for a dollar bill? You gonna throw your brother? It's no loyalty. It's no loyalty. You know. So when they look at old cats that's still living by loyalty and my word is my bond, they looking at you like you're a fool. But you know, we try not to be sellouts, because if we sell out, we selling out our people. We selling out our community. And we try not to do that. Even till the day, we try not to do that.
And I asked that question just because when I came up, you had the Trusted Two with Easy Lee. You had
Yeah.
Rod Flash and the Furious Five. You had Curtis Blow with AJ. You had DJs and the MC. Now they're just the MC.
That's because big company took the DJ out of the picture because they can control the MC. They made the MC sell the DJ out. But anybody that knows, getting back to basics is getting back to the DJ. The DJ is the conductor. The DJ is the orchestrator. The DJ will keep you on beat. I did this little book, and it's the 6 elements of hip hop. And it starts with the DJ. Everything starts with the DJ. It wasn't no MC at first. It was just a DJ at first. And then, God bless Coke the Rock, he came into the picture sharing his vocal skills on the microphone. No, he wasn't rapping like we started rapping later, but he was sharing stuff that added to what Herc and Clark Kent and Herc DJs was doing. And then everything starts someplace and then it elevates. As long as it's elevating in the right way and it's good, it's going to keep growing. And people be like, oh, well, it's too many elements in hip hop. I'm like, why would you say that? Everything grows. And as long as it's positive, you're supposed to keep adding to it. Like people started at first grade, then they graduate 12th grade, and then they go to college, then they summa cum laude, and then they professors and all that. You're supposed to grow. You ain't supposed to stay on the same level. And this is what I keep trying to tell people. You gotta change. Like, it's so many styles of MCing, so many styles of DJing that ain't even a part of hip hop right now, because they claim it old and they don't want to do it no more. But they claim it old and they don't do it because they can't do it. Most of these now DJs, they can't hook up a sound system. They don't even know the first thing but about negative and positive speaker wise. They don't know because they ain't never been taught. I talk to Easy Lee every day. A lot of us are still around. A lot of us have moved on, but a lot of us are still around. That's it.
Thanks. That's all I had.
Hey, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Indeed, it
That
was.
was a good one.
Yes, indeed. The next DJ that I have up is DJ Silent Professor.
Ooh, Silent Professor. What he teaching? He can't be teaching if he's silent. Oh, he's teaching with his skills?
Hey, that's what they say.
Okay.
Good evening to you.
How you doing, sir?
Doing well. Again, I definitely appreciate you coming through here and spreading knowledge and wisdom that you have. It's an honor and a pleasure.
My pleasure.
And I don't have any question at all. I'm just listening and kind of taking everything in, and salute to you, brother.
Well, let me share this with you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't never believe anybody that say Kool Herc didn't start this, that say Africa Bambaataa didn't start this, that say Grandmaster. Those are the top three. Grandmaster Flash. They gave us the 1-2 punch, and we just added the 3 and 4 and the 5 to it.
Yes, sir.
They showed us Herc. They keep saying, oh, they was bums from the Bronx and they didn't have no sound equipment. Herc had GLI, he had Technique turntables, he had all Macintosh power amps. Macintosh power amps was handmade power amps. That's what Herc had. We didn't know what they were. But later on, as we learned what they were, they was the best that you could have. Even till today, they're the best thing that you could have. That's why don't too many people have them, because they cost so much. So anytime somebody say something about hip hop, that's where it started at. And you see, I put my name in there because I come after them.
Yes, sir.
So peace and blessing, my brother.
Blessings to you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So my next DJ, I always tease him. I say he goes up and down the Eastern Seaboard. Who am I talking about? DJ I-95.
Oh man, that's my man.
What up?
What up, dude?
I'm good.
You all right?
Yes, I'm great. All right.
Okay, I'm here.
I got 2 questions. I'm sorry I didn't make it to the record thing. Me and Prime had to do a wedding. So
oh yeah, I saw that.
all right. One question right now. The question is, how did you feel about I'm trying to think of the dang show. What is the name of the show? And I just had it on my brain. The Get Down. How do you feel about the Get Down?
I just watched the Get Down, I think last month. I never watched it until last month. I wound up waking up 4:00 in the morning. I said, well, let me watch this.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fairy tale. I took it as a disrespect to our culture. But as I'm sitting there watching it, I wouldn't watch it because I took it as a disrespect because I heard people talking about it and all this and that. But as I'm watching it, and I'm saying, hold up, this look a lot like my group. and I hate Hollywood hip hop. I hate Hollywood hip hop because it doesn't give the real culture of hip hop no respect. We was coming up, it was rough in them streets. And places we went was even rougher because we someplace that we don't know nobody. Everybody know us, but we don't know nobody. Well, everybody know of us and they feel like they know us, but we don't know everybody. So every time we left the Bronx to come up to Connecticut, to go up to Massachusetts, to go out to Jersey, I always felt we have to make it back home. So it wasn't an easy night. We had to come in and make people like us. Some people got animosity, but we got to come in here and make them love us for us to get out of here safe. And that's what we did a whole lot of. The Get Down, I guess it was needed, but it's misleading to people that is willing to accept that and not look for the real stuff. So I'm reading the credits and I see people that's involved and I see okay, I understand now. I understand better now. But I would love to do some real stuff. Like, let's give them some raw, real stuff so they can see it's not Hollywood. Everything can't be glitter and gold all the time. Give them the real stuff and let them understand that this is happening somewhere in America, someplace in North Carolina, someplace in South Carolina. Show the realness.
All right, my next question is, when is that IPA coming out? I've been waiting for it.
Well, we did the launch in San Diego last week.
Mm-hmm.
I flew out there. We did a launch. This COVID thing got a whole lot of stuff like really messed up. So we trying to find bigger brewers to brew it.
Okay.
Because we got a small brewer to brew it and come up with the flavor. But now the demand, when people are telling you, I could get it in 70 stores and stuff, and this brewer can't meet the demand. So we got meetings with bigger brewers to put it out. So we trying to get it over to the East Coast. So we got meeting with Brooklyn Brewery, and I'm trying to set up some meetings with breweries up in Connecticut so we can get it on the East Coast. Because we don't want we want the demand to be big, but we don't want it to be too big where we can't service it.
Right.
So we got to dial it back a little bit and get it right, But, I'm a non-drinker. I stopped drinking at 17. I don't drink, but I tasted because it was my name on it. 2 sips, I was buzzed. So everybody that tasted, I heard no bad vibes about it or anything. Everybody they was surprised to see that I was there. I mean, a lot of people hear about Cold Crush, they know about Cold Crush, but they don't expect to be standing beside one of us. The dude in Denver fainted in my arms. I had to grab him before he hit the ground. He said, yo, what did you just say? I said, yo, I'm Tony Tone for Cold Crush. He said, that's what I thought you said. He pulled out his phone, and Cold Crush Brothers was his screensaver on his phone. He said, yo, y'all are like leather. Y'all are like myths. You know, we heard, but I would never expect to meet you just standing here in the park. It's a couple of bars named Cold Crush, about 4 bars named. One was in Denver. It's like a couple out there. So I walked in the bar one night. I come to the door. It was like, can I help you? I'm saying, yeah. Tell the owner, Tony Crush is here. Oh, come right in. And the dude was from Brooklyn. You know, he said, yo, out of respect, you know, we just named the bar Cold Crush. I said, okay, well, where my check at? You know, that comes with a check. But, you know, it's good that, you know, the love is there. You know, Brooklyn is second home to us. We had DJ Leslie G from the Disco Enforcers with the 3rd Cold Crush brother DJ for a little while. I talk to Leslie every day. You know, Brooklyn is like our second home. But, you know, now I live in Connecticut. Connecticut is my 3rd home. So,
Same here.
Hey, peace and love, man. Peace and love. It's been a long time.
Yeah, me and Prime is gonna come check you. I just don't know when, because he said you've been asking about me. So
yeah,
it was an honor and a blessing to be in your presence, even on this video call.
Hey, I'm here. I'm trying to be here as long as God let me, man.
Oh, you're gonna be here for a while. You're gonna be here for a while. Thank you.
Peace. Peace.
All right. So the next one is one of your homies. Who am I talking about? DJ Lisa Love. What's up?
Hey, baby.
Hey, y'all. What's up? Curtis Sherrod and Tony Touch, yo, man. I love the both of y'all. And how I met Tony Crush was this awesome event that Curtis Sherrod does and did when I first linked up with him. The first time I linked up with him was when he had 125 DJs on 125th Street at the Apollo. And I just, me and him got tight because I was the first female out of the people that DJ'd. I was the first female to go that particular day. And I was scared. I was like number 4. and I was scared because I didn't know no DJs, like nobody. I was like, but you know, we all repping New York. I'm from Philly, but I was repping New York and Philly. And then my homeboy, DJ Joint came through. King James came through, yeah. and it made me calm down. But from there, how I met Tony Crush and all these awesome people like Kool Herc and I mean just everybody. He has this awesome event called Rapicon, and he would bring all the legends together. Like it was just a regular thing, and he started bringing it to different cities. But I got linked up with him in New York, and then he brought it to Philly. And then he did an awesome thing called DJ Pendants Day in Philadelphia, where we signed tell him about that, Sherrod.
All right, so I was throwing a DJ con in Philadelphia, and I wanted to do something to unite all of the DJs. So I was like, hey, let's throw a crazy, crazy block party, and let's have it at Independence Mall in Philadelphia, where they signed the Declaration of Independence. And so what I did, my man Rod Flash might know J-Rock, so I called my man from the International DJ Cafe, J-Rock, to help me get some Philadelphia DJs involved. And there were like 86 people who signed the original Declaration of Independence. So I said, we're going to do the Declaration of DJ Pendants. We had a real document. We had a full sound system. We was by the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia, Cole shutting it down, and every DJ who participated.
The media
came. It was a beautiful day, and it was just to show unity. A lot of times when the outside world looks at hip hop, they see chaos, or they don't see the professionalism and the community and the love that we have. Every event I ever did, never had a fight, never had a shootout, never had no beef. I mean, DJ Con, as Lisa was saying, we had 125 DJs DJing on 125th Street at the Apollo. We did it again in Mount Vernon. We did it again in Philly.
Back to Mount Vernon again and again.
And again and again. And then for Tone, I threw something called Battle of the Sound Systems.
Yes, I remember that. That was the dopest thing. And that's when I met Tony Crush. But like everybody was there. All the
no, it ain't, Lisa.
Pardon me? Huh?
I met you first in Philly.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. But I mean, like,
I met you there doing it in the park. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But this man,
that's
Sherrod,
where I first met you at.
He brings all the legendary hip hop people from that culture. He brings them all together, and you never know who you're gonna run into when you come to his event. Like, I mean, it's just everybody. Like, and he got his thing that to show homage to hip hop. He has like a hip hop institute, right? In New York State. Tell me about that.
I started the Hip Hop Culture Center. So
Right.
anybody who's like from Manhattan or from Harlem who knows where the Magic Johnson Theater is, I had the whole second floor of the Magic Johnson Theater, 10,000 square feet. And we would do something called the Hip Hop Culture Center. And what we did, we would use hip hop to bring young people in. And once we got them, we would teach diet, nutrition, political science. We would teach all these things to educate them, as well as allowing them to have a good time. The most significant event that I would do there was something called a rap-a-thon. And a rap-a-thon was crazy. We would get 125 MCs to rhyme for 24 hours straight.
Non-stop.
No cursing, no N-word, no B-word. And we did it 6 times in a row. 6 years, we did it. Yep. Another thing about the Hip Hop Culture Center, I had my first record in 1979. I was fortunate to have Pumpkin do the music for my joint, and I was always into hip hop. And every time I went to a hip hop party, I would keep the flyer. So I own the world's largest hip hop flyer collection on the planet. So Tony got some joints though. Every now and then, Tony sent me a nugget or a jewel. I'm gonna have to go up to Connecticut to go through his stash to see what he's keeping on lockdown.
But let me tell you something though. These two gentlemen, I love them, man. Like, listen, Tony Crush always been. He answers his phone when I call him. Sherrod, answer his phone when I call him. Like, those are real people. Those become real people that they've become my friends, my family. And what I love is the fact that when I call them, just to say, hey, he answered. Tony Crush answered my call. Sherrod answered my call. And then outside of hip hop, they still supportive. Like, Sherrod, Tony Crush, Curtis Sherrod even supported me outside. It had nothing to do with hip hop. I was being honored by the First Baptist Church in Monticello for my community work, and he brought a page in the book. Like, who does that? Like, and every time I see Tony Crush, he loved me, he hugged me, he talked to me, he kick it with me, make sure my mind is right in this world. Like, this is love, man. And you right now, we're being blessed with both of these gentlemen, and we got to grab all the jewels that they give us right here. And I'm blessed to be able to call them up and get jewels on call. You know what I mean? So Tony Crush, I love you, man. I thank you for just being you. and always loving me. Curtis Sherrod, same thing, man. I love you and thank you for always just supporting me and y'all being you and loving me. And man, I salute to both of y'all.
And that's
All
what
right.
hip hop is supposed to be.
Hey, my pleasure.
Yeah, and that's what hip hop is supposed to be. You know, hip hop was initially about us getting together to make either our people better, to make our community better, to make our skills better, to make the music better. You know, that's what started it. There was a lot of love when hip hop started, and I think that when we get back to some of the love and some of the caring that we used to have, each one teach one that Tony was talking about, that was a big thing. And I think what occurred was the money, you know, because when we were starting in hip hop, we wasn't really making no money, you know, we made a little something, but once people start making money and there was a shift between hip hop culture and rap culture. To me, they're two different things. Hip hop culture, if you're about making your people better, your community better, the music better, that's hip hop. If you're about making money for yourself, if you're about becoming famous, that's rap. And rap became more popular than hip hop, you know? And a lot of hip hop started in the New York tri-state area. And unfortunately, as it grew, it wasn't able to get the core elements of what makes hip hop hip hop. It's almost like when you're farming. If you have a farm and you're growing crops, you have to rotate the soil every now and then to allow the nutrients to get back in there, but that never happened. But I always say, poor people from the Bronx invented a multi-billion-dollar industry. So I'm hoping one day some of those people who got some of that multi-billion dollars gives back. And once you give back, that's why I started the Hip Hop Culture Center, to give back. We did programming for 150,000 kids, free, and we didn't charge them. And I think that you got all these rappers, they got the bling, they got the diamonds, they got all this stuff. But what are you giving back to the people? I love Jay-Z, but I was hoping he'd buy Marcy Projects by now. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping that they would do something that would better the next generation. Because if we don't better the next generation, what are we doing?
True. Man, but I thank y'all and I love y'all and thank you for, you know, at the drop of a dime, I call y'all, give you this date and y'all show up, man. That's love, man. And keep doing what you're doing, exposing the masses of people to some legendary people, bringing them all together and people having an opportunity to network with them and meet them and talk with them. I met some great people right there with your events, Rapicon and the things you're having in Mount Vernon. And me and Floyd Myers, we talk on a regular.
Heavy diesel. Yeah. Oh, but let me give Tony a shout. Got to give Tony a shout just for the fact, this man, how many people you know was down with a legendary crew like Brothers Disco? They had the first female MC ever, all right? So that's one, that alone is foundational. Then to start the Cold Crush Brothers, right? To have Grandmaster Caz and the JDL and AD and all, and Tony, you know, to have that whole thing going. And then after that, to be a foundational member of the Zulu Nation. Big shout to Yoda, who's no longer with us, but
in peace, yeah,
you
man.
got a lot of lives in hip hop, Tony, and I just want to say I appreciate the fact that as a fifth grader, sixth grader, seventh grader, all the way to now, you touched my shoulder and was like, yo, man, come rock with us, you know? Because like my man Square Knot said, it's special when they allow you under the ropes. When they allow you under those ropes and you get to be a part of that thing, and that's what it was about. It wasn't about money, because back then, money wasn't it. It was about who had the skills, who had the talent, who can go under the ropes and represent our community.
Exactly. Man, salute to both of y'all. I love y'all. Tony Clutch, you know I love you, man. Ain't nothing but love, man.
Move out.
Listen, it's I always said everything that's good, they they throw a virus in it. You got your computer is working good, all of a sudden they get a virus. That's what they did with hip hop. Hip hop was so positive, and so the love was growing. The love was growing, so they threw a virus in it called gangster rap. I'm not gonna say gangster rap wasn't needed. It was needed, but the way they put it out there wasn't needed, because they shut down the backpackers and the righteous rapping and all that. They shut that down and pushed the gangster rap up front. Now you're not getting the knowledge from the music. You're not getting the family come together, the community. This thing was about bringing people together, bringing cultures together. In the year 2000, we was invited to the United Nations to sign a treaty with the USA to recognize hip hop as an actual culture. We signed a piece of paper with the USA that recognized hip hop, and we had delegates from other countries that was there to sign that treaty with us, because they was expressing how hip hop helped their country and helped their community thrive. In 2005, the beginning of hip hop is inducted in Cornell University. These are the things they don't share with the world. And these are the things that they don't share with our community, because they don't want you to know how much hip hop has helped people. They want you to just keep thinking it's all negative, and it's not all negative.
No doubt. Those are facts. And you know, you make me think about this song I wrote years ago, and I actually named it hip hop. And in there, I made reference to the fact of, it's the culture that you could flip your life around. You could flip the script on everything that you're doing, and you don't have to do it with a knife or a gun, and for, when you sit back and you think about that virus, and like you say, gangster rap, no problem with it. And sure, it may have been a time for a little bit of a switch up, but as you said, sir, when they saw something good, they automatically would try to change it, because they saw the elevation, and the elevation wasn't a gradual thing. It would always be something that would spike up, so that they saw what we were doing. And as we spiked up, more and more of us would collaborate and get together and work together. And that was one of the things that had to be stopped in their eyes. And it just really, really it's just painstaking to continually, and it still happens to this day with pretty much everything in the, whether it's in the culture or out, as it relates to us. So that's really, that right there, made me think about that. So I appreciate you speaking on that as well.
Well, let me check myself on something that I just said. I called it gangster rap. That's what they named it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they named it. It's actually reality rap, because those brothers from the West Coast was only telling their life story and what they was actually living and going through, just like we were. We just was going through different things. So we didn't speak on it like that, because we was past it. Like, the Bronx had over 300 gangs.
Mm-hmm.
We got out of that easy. The West Coast, their gang situation was a whole lot different from ours. So they was only speaking what they was living. Big Company named it gangster rap. So I just I thought about it. It ain't them calling it gangster rap. Big Company put that name on it. So I don't want to throw that on it like that's what they was trying to do, because they was only telling what they was actually living at the time. So I correct myself on that.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So let's move to our next DJ, and I'm gonna call on another female, and that's DJ Big Body. What's
Okay. I love the females. I love the females.
Good evening. I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you for your contribution.
You're welcome.
That's it.
My contribution, like I said, if I could make somebody think and I could make some, like, my life hasn't been silver lining and all that, neither. So when I could share something positive with people, that's making my day. That's making my life. That's making me feel like, okay, I know God gave me a job to do, and I'm trying to do it till the day I die, and I'm trying to do it in the right way. Because I got off the hip-hop path a couple of times, but it brought me right back. Because he said, yo, you're not done. You're not done. So I appreciate sharing positive thought and positive feeling with everybody, because we don't get up in the morning wanting to live a negative life. At least no more. You know, I done seen it all. I seen a lot. And I've been in the streets like 90% of my life. So now my daughter is 18 and my son is 14. And they know who I am, but they don't know who I am. But that's okay. That's okay. They'll learn. But they not hip hop heads. So they grew up a totally different street than I did. But hey,
Okay.
thank you, Mom.
Cool beans. So the next DJ is out of Bmore. DJ Joe Storm. What's up, my man?
Tony Cross, salute to you, brother. Your life.
What's up, sir?
How you doing, brother?
What's up? How you doing out there? How you doing? How you doing out there in Bmore?
Man, I can't complain, man. One day at a time.
Okay.
Only thing I gotta say to you and your boy. Am I saying it right?
Nah,
Curtis Sherrod.
Kurt, I'm cool.
Kurt.
Respect to you, though.
My bad. I don't like to mess people's name up.
I feel you.
I didn't come along when y'all were active, but as years went on, I began to study hip hop and study like the elements and the founders and the people that came around back in the day, you know, that made the culture what it is. And only thing I can say is, man, I appreciate y'all's contribution to hip hop. Y'all are hip hop. You know, I was listening to, you know, Tony talking about the basically the message. You know, when y'all were doing hip hop and living hip hop, you know, y'all conveyed a message of peace, love, and unity. And a lot of times, you know, in the black community, you know, everything is either violence or drugs or getting killed. You know, anything that was associated with any type of music that we were doing was considered negative. You know, so I say God bless y'all for what y'all have done to change that message, even in the light of music changing over the years. You know, music is a vibration, and vibrations should be held high, not low.
Hey.
You know, so thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, brothers. And I can just add y'all to the list of people that I've met that have been legendary. You know, last year I met Grand Wizard Theodore. Wonderful conversation.
Theodore.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, so
okay.
Salute,
Hey,
brothers.
listen,
Thank you.
that's a good brother to me. That's a good
Oh,
brother
yeah.
to me.
Oh man, that's why when I was listening to y'all talking about the GLI and the Bozak, like he was telling me, he was like, man, it wasn't no crossfade. It was a big knob. He turned from left to right. You know, and I was like, wow. You know, so to develop scratching from that, you know, all I can say is salute, man. I could go all night, but there's a lot of people here that want to talk, and I can say thank you. God bless you and keep going, keep going. And that's it.
Same to
All
you,
right.
brother. Same to you.
Yep.
Peace.
So coming on around the circle, I see my man DJ Michael Lee. What's up?
Yes, sir. Good evening there, Tony and Curtis. I don't really have much
How you
questions.
doing, sir?
Just want to just thank you for bringing on the positive nature of hip hop. Like we've heard already this evening, we hear so much negativity surrounding the term hip hop, and there's so much more to it. And I just appreciate you for what you've done and for coming on and sharing the positive nature of hip hop. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate you guys who appreciate it, because
Well,
without
and like I tell people all the time, you have to be careful what they say. You got to be careful what they say, because they going to say whatever they say to make them look good. You have to be strong about your beliefs and your feelings, because they will lead you down the wrong road every time if you ain't strong enough to say, that's not right. You know, I watched this thing last night called All In on Prime, and I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm saying, how do they get away with this? How do they get away with making laws like this, changing up laws like this? And everybody just go with it, like, you know, like puppets. We got to get our mindset and back in place. And when we see something, call them on it. If it ain't right, then we shouldn't take a step forward until it gets right, because they are leading us into something that ain't gonna be good for nobody, white, black, or whatever. I try to stay away from the color thing. Because it's only two colors, black and white. I'm not black, and I definitely ain't white, and I'm definitely not a color. I'm a human being. But we let them bait us into this game of two colors, and we got to get away from it.
And
You know what I'm saying? That, you know,
you definitely are speaking.
Very true.
they gonna really mess up one time, and there ain't gonna be no turning back.
Very true.
And in talking about that, you know, real quick, and I was on your timeline and I saw that where you said watching All In and all this about how effed up this country is. How long will this go on? So in my research, of course, I was reading it and I was like, you know, you are 100% right. And you know, the black and white thing, you know, who created that? Because I spoke about something a couple of weeks ago, and I said I'm not black. I said, when you look at me, I am an American. When you travel overseas, fortunately, I served in the military. I was able to travel to 14 different countries. And in those countries, when you're talking to someone and you ask them, you say, who are you or what are you? They'll go, I'm English, or I'm Italian, or I'm Danish, or whatever. And then they ask us and we'll say, we're black or we're white. And they laugh at us, you know, because they're like,
But still, that's that's a trick game too. Whether you're American, whether you're English, you're a human being.
Yeah, no doubt.
First and foremost.
Oh, no doubt.
They said Zimmerman did not get charged because Trayvon Martin was considered an African American. And on the books, that means property. That don't mean a human being. So they didn't look at him as a human being. They looked at him as property. That's why they said Zimmerman got off.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to be very careful about these labels that we accept, because they making the laws, they making these labels up, and they knowing more of what it is and what it means than we do. So when you see that form and it say, oh, this black, white, Afro-American, human, I'm a human.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be very careful. We got to start, like when you sitting there playing chess, you got to know the moves and you got to know the counter moves. They setting us up in every situation. They took the skills, they tried to take the skills out of DJ with this Sherrod thing. I appreciate it. But they taking the skills out of everything. They taking the knowledge out of everything. They taking the passion out of everything. So we got to be careful. We got to be very careful. Like with, I'm looking at Trump and Biden, and I'm saying, hold up, is this a switch and bait? Are they doing switch and bait on us? They might want Biden in there. So they create this whole thing with Trump so everybody can get Biden in there. We gotta be very careful, man. Africa taught us about the Moors. Africa taught us about the Moors and the indigenous people. I ain't learned that in no school.
Yep.
They don't teach us about our history because our history is so great. They don't want us to know.
Facts.
They want to tell their story, his story, whatever story. They want to fake us out to believe they good people. They murderers. They thieves. They got kicked out of England. I ain't going there. I ain't getting into all that.
Hey,
because I ain't even intelligent enough to tell it right. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you from what I see, what I feel.
I hear you on that.
I was walking in this building. I was walking to this building, and this door opened up, and it felt like somebody. When I looked and saw who was coming out this door, it felt like somebody reached in my chest and grabbed my heart. And I said, "Oh shit, how you doing, Mr. Gregory?" I would never have thought that I would be standing in his presence. Dick Gregory opened that door and he was talking to somebody and it scared the mess out of me. Because I understood who I was standing in front of. And I done met some people, but ain't nobody touched me like that.
Gotcha. Well, I tell you one thing for sure, we can definitely have you back and we can get on that for sure. That's definitely one of those conversations that definitely a lot of us need to have to start opening up our mindsets for sure. So appreciate your comments on that for sure. And we look forward to further conversation on that. So we're going to definitely hook up on that. If you don't mind, we will definitely hook up on that.
Hey, listen, I don't mind, man. Tomorrow is not promised to me. I don't mind.
Cool.
I'm trying to get it all out. Any little bit I can get out, I'm trying to get it out.
Cool beans. So let me go ahead on over to the next DJ. He's out of H-Town. He's sitting over there. DJ Big Dooley.
Okay.
Hello, hello.
What's up,
Hey,
dude?
What's up, Curtis?
hey, what up, player?
All right. My question is, I want to take it back to 75. I wasn't born in 75. I was born in 76. But I want to know what a typical house party was back in 75.
A typical house
The
party
house
back in
party?
Yeah.
Oh man, you about to get me in trouble, man. You about to get me in trouble. The house party, the house party was like, it was intimate, hot like fire in that thing. And people call it slow dancing, but we was grinding on it. We was grinding. That was, listen, man. That
What
you took a brother back with that one.
what was adults
Black
there?
light party, huh?
Was adults there?
No,
What's
no,
amazing
no. Adults
about
wasn't
that
that.
period?
I mean, our parents used to have parties, and we used to be the little DJ when we had the 45s, like the automatic drop down for the 45s and all that. But when we had our little party, man, we was grinding and about to break our backs, man.
But you know what though? That to me, that appears
Man.
to be a lost phenomenon with our culture. Back then, if you watch that movie like Cooley High, that's a good representation of
Yeah,
how
yeah,
house parties were back
yeah.
then. And like I have a son, and when I talked to him, I was like, yo, at parties, how come your era don't slow dance? I remember, I don't care where you was, a party always ended with some slow records. They would turn the lights down a little, they may
Yeah.
have them velvet posters with the blue lights cracking and all that. And you got the chance to be affectionate with a young lady who you was considering. There was some romance in the game. You had to learn dudes don't know how to slow dance no more. Everything the game's a
Nope.
little different. But you say back then, that was official tissue, And I think that it allowed us as a community, once again, to get together. Because a lot of times those were rent parties too. If you was a little short on your
Yeah.
rent, that's how you got by. The community would support you. You fry some chicken, right? You had a couple of drinks in a garbage can, people could just dip their cup in, and then you paid your rent.
Yep.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We had
Good
the dollar parties. We had the guess your weight party. We had the Farmer Jean parties. We had so many different parties, man.
Okay, I don't remember.
We had the waist party. They used to measure your waist, and you paid 3 times your waist.
Okay, because I don't think they did that down here in Texas.
Probably not. It was probably some corny stuff we only did, but we was having fun with it.
Yeah.
We was having fun with it. Guess your weight party. Come on. You come up to the door, they gotta guess your weight, and that's how much you pay to get in.
Yeah, Tony, do you remember they would
Yeah.
do something called a nut and screw party? All the guys would get nuts, and all the girls would get bolts or screws, but they would be different sizes, and so you had to ask different people to dance. And if you found someone that it was compatible, you won a prize. That used to be so crazy to me. Or they would have Sadie Hawkins parties where girls had to ask the guys to dance because it was a Sadie Hawkins party. Or my personal favorite was the chocolate singles parties. Remember them chocolate single parties? Ooh.
Man, you can't even get people to do that type of stuff these days because they don't know nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad that we let our culture just disappear.
Feel you on that. And you're right about that, 100%. Indeed. Let me see. The next DJ I got, he's also in H-Town. I don't know if he's ready to ask a question. His name is DJ Big Said. What's up?
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody doing good tonight.
What's up, sir?
I got a question. Favorite album of all time for both of you guys? I know that's hard, but
Ooh.
what's your favorite album? What's your favorite record?
Of any music?
Any music, any genre.
Well, I'm gonna go with the Temptations. They had a song for you out, and the album cover was all black, and it had Temptation engraved and cut out in the paper, and it folded over like a letter, and I think I was like 16 when it came out, 17. But I fell in love with that album, and I might have like 5 or 6 of them, because every time I see them, I buy it.
I think for
The
me,
melody.
Go ahead, Tony.
Go ahead, sir.
No, Tony, you go ahead. Respect.
The melody on that whole album was so touching to me. I had this bad thing of I would lay in the floor in the dark and I would listen to music and I would see colors. And that really tripped me out that happened. So I did it just to see if it would happen all the time, and it still does. So I mean that album touched me in such a different way that I still love that album. Go ahead, Kurt.
I think for me, and to all the DJs, y'all might dig this. You know how when you're doing a party, you got to have certain records before the party gets cracking, just to warm things up and get the juices flowing, because you just can't start a party playing bangers. You got Frankie Beverly and Mays, or there was just certain joints. I always loved that Off the Wall Michael Jackson album. I mean, you could always play that and it just put you in a good mood, no matter what generation it was. It could be shorties, it could be your grandparents could be there. Michael had a joint that could make your spirit feel good, let you hit the dance floor and get a nice little two-step on, So I'm gonna go with that Michael Jackson jammy, Off the Wall. I Want to Rock With You, that cut in particular, that was my joint.
That's what's up. I like that, bro. I like that. Well, now I got one more question for him.
Yes, sir.
All right. Top 5 MCs, dead or alive. Both of y'all. I'll get y'all to answer that for me. Top 5 MCs, dead or alive.
Go ahead, Tom.
I try to stay away from the top 5 because this is the first and last time that I would do a top 5, because I done seen so many MCs that's been great one time or another. So the top 5 thing, is like, it's not enough. But if I had to go into a fight with 5 MCs, if I had to go into like a strong battle with 5 MCs, Grandmaster Cass, I'm talking about battle. I'm talking about like winner take all. Grandmaster Cass, Redman, Method Man, Rakim, and for that banger, I guess Kane, because he gonna bring the fire too. But I'm talking about lyrics. I'm talking about
I got you.
no backing down. I'm talking about really like strong in their belief that they are, that they got winning lyrics. I'm not talking about I'm gonna make you dance. I'm gonna make you. I mean, the feel good stuff is all right, but I'm talking about going into battle. If I want to, the five that's gonna punch and have each other back, I'm going with those five.
Gotcha. All right. Said, what you smoking on, man? What you got, a Cohiba? What you smoking on there? I say you got a nice looking stick up there. What you got there, player?
It's a Perdomo, man. I'm just at the cigar
Oh,
shop.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we at the shop.
That's a nice smoke right there. Play on, play on.
Watching the finals, man. You know, just
there
chilling.
You go.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you my top five, and I'm gonna base my top five if I was stuck on an island and I had an iPod player, and these were the artists I had to go with. I guess number one, because to me, he was the first superstar MC, I would go with Melly Mel, because like I said, to me, he was the first superstar MC. Number two, I would probably go with that Jigga Man. He got so many cuts, so many bangers. I could listen to him forever. Three, I'm gonna probably go with Nas, because he's someone else. If I'm on an island, I got different moods cracking. Nas is gonna give me some good food to get me through. Four, to me, this guy's just an amazing lyricist. I gotta go with Eminem. I mean, he's bananas. I mean, I wanted to hate him. I tried to hate him. I was like, no, I refute you. I will not acknowledge you. And then I would listen to his stuff, and I was like, dang, son is just nice with it. I mean, when you're nice, you're nice. Like Tone was like, you don't see black, you don't see white, you see niceness. He is someone who could have went under the ropes in the Bronx in 1979, and people would have been like, yeah, he's probably Puerto Rican. He nice. And lastly, just because he always brought that boom back, I'm gonna go with the teacher. I'm gonna go with KRS-One. My man, knowledge reigns supremely over nearly everyone. And that's my top five, dead or alive.
Okay.
I agree with him.
Much respect to that, bro. Appreciate that, man.
Kurt, my wife just said she agree with you, Kurt.
Tell your wife, mwah, mwah. You know, big shout to the Mercedes ladies in the line. My girl Flame, I see she's in the building. Baby D in the building. They were dope MCs and DJs too.
Yes, yes. And speaking of the Mercedes ladies, that's where I was getting ready to travel down to. And we're going to bring in the legendary DJ Baby D. What's up?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Tony? I don't have a question. I'm just saying hey because I was there with you. You are the bomb. How you doing?
Hey, Mama. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I because of this magnificent group, I'm getting myself together and I'm coming back out. So I'm gonna be DJing again. So you know I'm gonna do it. It's time. Sherrod talked me into it. Gail talked me into it. You know, LaSpank there too. I think she's waving at you. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but
she's on. She's on.
She's on. Yeah, she's on there. You know, I told her you were going to be on. She's like, give me the link. Give me the link. So she's here. But love you, love you, love you, love you. Always did. Whenever y'all have parties, I was like, I gotta go. My mother was like, where you going? I'm like, I'll be back. Sneaking in the house.
Well, come on. Hey, come on. The turntables are still spinning in this room for boys, women, men, old women. Come on.
Oh, you know, I'm coming back. I don't think I'm old. I'm still 22 years old. But anyway, I'm going to come back, and I like the knowledge that you dropped, because a lot of the things that you were saying was so spot on. It was like I was saying some of the same things, you know, and we have to keep the hip hop knowledge alive, because, you know, whenever people are talking, sometimes, you know, I would look at them and go, it's hip hop, not rap. And they would look at me like, well, why you say that? And, I catch myself because I didn't want a lot of people know who I was. I was just like, keep in mind, it's hip hop, not rap. You're going to get the knowledge soon, but, just stop talking if you don't know what you're talking about. And if you're not going to take it to the beginning, and if you're going to start in the middle, then just be quiet because you don't know what you're talking about. It's hip hop, not rap. That's it.
Well, a lot of us are afraid to be old. So we don't share what we should be sharing because then that dates us and make us old.
Yeah. But I was in the military, so it was sort of like if somebody said something, then it'll bring me back to that. And sometimes I would sit down and talk to them if they were open to listen. A lot of people are not open to hear you because they're looking at you thinking you old. I'm looking at them like an old cat. We had to say it in the Marine Corps with my husband. He was like, the older Marines will come back and spank you new boys. So I feel the same way about hip hop. We didn't lose anything. We just got older and, some aspects of the game changed, but don't count us out. I'm sorry. Just don't count us out and know the history and have a little bit of respect. That's how I see it.
Y'all had the best.
Well, it's not that the aspect changed. It's that they changed it.
Yeah, they did.
They changed it to fit what they needed to fit.
To make them money. Yeah.
Yeah. And we got to keep that in mind. Like, everything is geared to them making money and you not making money.
I mean, they'll give you just a little bit to make you happy, but you're not watching because some people are so busy, like, oh my God, I got this little bit of money. So, but they're not looking at the whole big picture. Like, are you reading your contract? Are you reading how much you're getting? Are you looking at this whole thing, with open eyes? Are you doing this? Because they just taking the dollars right from up under us or from the cats that are out now because a lot of us not paying attention. So in some ways I feel we allowed that to happen. And I also think we can take it back. And I'm hoping that, I mean, go ahead.
We allowed it to happen, but we had nobody to step in and say, hold up, let me read that. Let me read that for you, or let me get you. But then a lot of times when you got lawyers, they would find out who your lawyer is and pay your lawyer to get you to sign the contract that they want. So your lawyer was getting your money and their money.
That's crazy because I always wondered what happened.
And people don't know that. People don't realize that.
Right. But I was always wondering what happened to my record. I would ask Spidey D, like, what is going on? And how come people from other countries are inboxing me saying, are you this female that did this no sense? And I'm like, yeah, but how did you get it? I thought it went nowhere. And they was like, it's like doing real good over there. So like I'm busting my behind trying to get with West End Records. And I keep getting up with a bunch of old people, but I'm like, look, I'm being told this record is doing well overseas. What is going on? And they start double talking you and everything. But again, I was in the military moving around in and out of the country and stuff, really never settled to sit back and go, hey. So that's an issue too. And I think a lot of us need to sit back and like look at them and go, hey, no, stop. This isn't right.
Because your record will be out in America under one label, and then overseas is out on another label. And if you don't know how to follow it or find it, you don't know what they're doing, how many records they're selling, and all this and that. So I mean, it's just a game. It's just a whole game. That you got to be on you got to have your people in place. You got to be on top of it. You got to know how to, like right now I guess it might be easier to find your record, to chart your record, but back then it wasn't, BMI, ASCAP, all that was new to us. All of that was new to us. Licensing. Oh, we didn't have nobody to teach us that. We had to learn that from getting robbed and getting jerked. So we learned And now when we try to tell artists, they don't want to listen to us.
Right, right. Because they, like I said, they greasing their palm just enough to make them happy, but not enough to make them see the whole big picture. And my thoughts and wishes is that, you know, we get a company whereas they are looking out for us, looking out for the artists, the hip hop artists. And yeah, they still gonna cheat, but not as much as is what they're doing now. With that, you know,
We would
like
have to build that company ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, we would. And
we would have to build that company ourselves.
yeah, we would. We sure would. Well, there's a God one day. But that's all I have to say. You know, I missed you, you know.
Monday.
I believe it'll happen one day. I have faith. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm that girl that's always thinking, yeah, it's gonna happen.
Well, you know, still here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well that's it for me.
It is. Someday.
Let me just say one thing.
All right, Mom. Nice seeing you.
You guys as a group had the coolest chant whenever y'all would come into the party or leave the party. It was so cool to hear the whole audience going, Mercedes.
Young ladies. Mercedes.
That gotta be a hook in one of the songs, because that was the butters.
Yeah, it was that was cool. I mean, I loved it. Just a bunch of females in a man's world back then, but we held our own. You know, like standing there next to Flash and Theodore. I'm looking at them like, yeah, you guys, but I'm the female of you two. So, you know, I was stoked, happy, just, you know, I just wish we'd all known that it was gonna come to this point. We would have did a whole lot of things different.
Yeah, but you know what's beautiful? Just look at the things you've been able to do that no other generation will be able to do. Like, because we came up when we did the Ecstasy Garage. We did the E-Connect.
The Hotel Diplomat.
The Hotel Diplomat.
Yeah.
Celebrity Club, Harlem World.
The Black Door. And the outside parties for me was the best. And like you're saying, you know, not was saying you can come outside. You knew where that party was gonna be because you just follow the beat. I loved 63 Park. Oh, loved
Valley
it.
Park, Olinville Park.
Bronx, remember when they took it outside?
See, and so how much money was that experience worth? You can't put a money on that. So God gives everybody certain things, and what he gave first generation hip hop, no other hip hop ever experience the way we did. But we still have to, like we're doing, drop those jewels, share the knowledge, keep the culture going, keep trying to make it better.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. That's what I like about this group. They're bringing in people and they're dropping this knowledge, you know, and Sherrod on her side, she's doing the same thing. So, you know, if the two can somehow get together, that will be huge and phenomenal.
Oh, we will.
That's phenomenal. You talked to her?
Not yet, but it's coming.
Okay, because, you know, I
speak to Shaw all the time. So no doubt, I know she's about trying to make it happen. I know she's working on a film right now.
Yeah,
but, you know, she's trying to make it happen too.
Right, she is. She keeps telling me, yo, D, drop that knowledge. Tell your story. Don't let nobody else tell your story. You tell your story. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Shaw. You know, and then she'll give me that law. But, you know, why didn't you? And I'm like, oh, don't it, you know, the Spank same way. RD was the same way. I'm like, yeah, it's time. So I'm looking to write a book. I know Sherry has her book about Mercedes Lace, but my book will be more detailed about what the DJs and the MCs were doing and the clubs we went to, that experience. Because I think that's the experience in a book about, you know, the legend hip hops should let them know, that let the person sit there as they're reading it. They're immersed in it. Like if they're there, that's what I want to do. So hopefully I'll get that together. All right.
Well, I saw in the chat.
I mean, get it.
Oh, go ahead, sir. You could go, sir.
No, I was just telling her to get it, and you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, just gonna ease it to it, baby. Yeah.
Okay. Got me up in here dancing at 10 o'clock at night.
That's how we do it, baby. Real sexy like. Ah. Oh, just gonna ease it to it, baby. Yeah. For the real grown and sexy up in here, you know what I'm saying? Just talking to you, soul brothers, jitterbugs.
But now, you know, you playing music.
To you, soul brothers and
Yeah.
jitterbugs.
Let me stop that. That came up. My apologies on that. I was sitting there going, wait a minute now.
Hold on. Curtis Sherrod, say he gotta go. So
Yeah,
say the last pieces, man.
That's where I was going. I see that you gotta go. So first off, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for popping in and sharing your knowledge, man. We salute you. You are always welcome to the group. We want to continue to stay in touch with you, so don't hesitate. You got a friend in Lisa, but you got a friend in all of us now. So
Hey.
just make sure that you got that, and we really salute you, sir. And I'll give you. I know you have some time, so I yield that to you.
The pleasure was mine. I love it when, as a people, outside of the light, we get together in the cut like this, and we try to nourish each other, and we try to support each other. So this is what it is. You know, the DJs trying to reclaim, and they will reclaim their status in the culture. Just hearing how the ladies is with us too. We got as much ladies as men almost. So that's dope for them to be part of this collective. And all I can say is I'll catch y'all next episode. And I appreciate the chance and the opportunity I had to hang out with y'all for a little while.
We really appreciate you too, man.
Love you, man.
Love y'all too. What up, Tone? Catch you later, big dog.
Yeah, he just popped in again. I think his phone popped off. As soon as he gets back in, DJ Yoshi.
Go back and go.
He's coming back in right now, I think. All right, I see him. Looks like he just. There we go. There we go. You okay, sir?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
So we got DJ Yoshi. He has next one coming up.
Good evening.
How you doing, sir?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful. I kind of got to the chat kind of late, but just sitting back and listening to the whole conversation is real informative. I definitely appreciate it, being as though I'm kind of like a new DJ. So hearing about, you know, the culture, what real hip hop is, and as you say, it's not called gangster rap. It's just reality rap. Like, and I can understand that. Like, I appreciate it. I thank y'all for everything that y'all do as far as y'all brought hip hop. Brought DJing, and with this group and the DJs in here, I'm just hoping that we can take it to the next level, take it a little further.
I mean, you know, the sky's the limit.
Right.
It's what you feel and what you want to share with the universe. Africa Bambaataa always universal Zulu nation. It's about the universe. It's not, don't box yourself in. It's about the universe. You giving positive ways to the universe. That's what it's about. No limits.
I dig it.
Cool beans. We got DJ Flame in here. DJ Flame. Can you hear us? I think she's blinking out.
They don't have no audio one way or another. It's just blank down there.
I'm trying to let her know now on phone.
Okay, well, I'm going to shift to someone else while we wait for her. while she waits to come in. So we're gonna go to DJ Dave G. DJ Dave G.
Yes, 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 yes. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I mean, I'm sitting there like taking notes. I'm like, where do I start? But I will say that I didn't realize until just recently that your song Punk Rock Rap had the little "Oh my God" part from the show. That's where they got that from, right?
Well, yeah, they got it from Puck Rock Rap.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, whoa. I was listening to it. I was like, wait a minute, that sounds awfully familiar.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought.
And that happened to be my cousin doing the "Oh My God" on our record.
Oh, really? So she was famous without being famous. So I've enjoyed. I kind of came into
Yeah,
it
she
late.
was famous without being.
Yeah, I dig.
Okay.
So I kind of came into it the chat late because I had some other stuff I was doing. But anyway, I've enjoyed every second of this hip hop history, because for me, I grew up in Massachusetts and, hip hop was first introduced to me like it was for a lot of people on Rapper's Delight. But I didn't really understand it till I got to
Okay.
college 2 years later. And I ran into these guys from New York called the Gemini Crew. And these cats
Mm-hmm.
were unbelievable MCs and DJs. And I mean, they just blew my mind, and I was just like, oh, that's when I fell in love with hip hop after seeing them cats. But one of them, this guy named,
Okay.
he was like my boy's roommate. He was an upperclassman, so he didn't really mess with us. We were freshmen, and he had all these posters on his wall. And one of the most prominent groups I remember is the Cold Crush Brothers. All these, posters from different events. He used to line his wall with all these posters,
Uh-huh.
and the Cold Crush Brothers were, so that's kind of seared into my memory. And, that's how I got my introduction to you through those posters. And so I was like, who are the Cold Crush Brothers? And he was, he would have like tapes, like I guess PA tapes or whatever you want to call them. And that's how I got introduced to you guys. And you guys brought up like
Okay.
having Macintosh amps and phase linear amps and all that kind of stuff, and that kind of brought back a flood of memories. What else? So my question is, who do you like in hip hop today? Not necessarily your top 5 MCs, but just who is current that you like? Is there anybody?
Nah.
Well, that's perfectly acceptable.
I mean, we still, it's like you don't want to put gas in your car that has water in it.
Yeah.
You want your car to run smooth. I mean, people come out with songs that be played on the record. A lot of this stuff is more underground and not being played on the radio. So we don't. A lot of DJs my age don't play it. When we're doing old school parties and you throw on one of those records and people stop dancing, that makes us not want to play it because it's being played in the wrong party.
Yeah.
So when we're not doing a party that will accept that, we don't play it. And a lot of parties we play are parties one person might want to hear it. And just clear the floor. So we don't play it. Not people that I'm around, my age or whatever.
Mm.
And if I am in a place where the DJ playing that, okay, but they not dancing. And that's why I would assume that's why people play music for people to dance.
Yeah.
When I'm at a party and all of a sudden could you play this? And then you throw it on and it clears the floor. What you do? You go back to what had people dancing.
Back to the essence.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
some people say, "Oh, do you old?" And the worst thing you can have is somebody old trying to be young and forcing themselves to try to dance to that because young people don't even try to dance to it.
Mm.
So it's like, okay. But like I said earlier, that's because the music is not being put together with the right mathematics. Everything comes to math. Everything, the tempo, all that. So
Circle of fifths, all that. Yeah, yeah.
if it's not being put together, even when you DJ, you using math to match the beat, the tempo, you using all that while you DJ. So why wouldn't you use it when you putting the record together?
No doubt.
How many times? How many times have you put on it? You looking for a record, but you looking for a record in the right tempo. You're not just grabbing anything.
Yeah.
And the right tempo is math.
No doubt. So I thought you guys brought up another interesting point about music back in the day when there was no cursing in the music and there was no N's and no B's. And for me, I'm an old school DJ, so I kind of gravitate towards that. But from an analytical standpoint, for me, MCs were way more creative back then because you couldn't curse when you made records. If you wanted to get any kind of airplay whatsoever, you couldn't curse. So they had to think of ways to navigate around that. So for me, they were, MCs were way more creative back then.
Well, I hear people don't put the punchline in they music no more. Um, I hear this about the cadence, the lyrics, the pronunciation. All of that is missing now. People are making up words because they feel it rhymes with this word, but that's not a word.
Yeah.
But people are accepting that. We used to stutter rap. People don't do that no more.
Yeah.
We build a rap around this word or this phrase. Um, it's so much that's lost or left out or just not known to you. I know some they English majors. That's Kuma D, English major.
Mm.
You know, some people are known as wordsmiths. It's like a whole lot is missing. They might be getting the big money, but are they able to make a classic record? that's going to be played 10 years later, that's going to be adored, be a jewel to somebody 10 years from now? Nope, probably not.
Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely not. So I guess I just wanted to say thank you to you guys for coming on. You know, for me, you brought back a flood of memories, a flood of memories. I mean, I'm just thinking about all kinds of stuff now. And I'm going to spend the next couple of days going through my record collection, picking out, you know, stuff that I have of you and of Deborah. And, you know, so this is like a really cool thing for me to experience and chat with you guys and listen to, you know, what you have to say. So I
What
just
part
want to
of
say thank you and salute.
What part of Massachusetts?
Framingham?
What part of Massachusetts you from?
Framingham.
Okay, okay. No, we did Holyoke.
Ah, yeah, that's Western Mass.
Yeah, we did the roller rink in Holyoke.
Okay.
We opened up for Run DMC.
Okay.
After we got off the stage, half of the crowd was in our dressing room. Run them had to push their way through the crowd to let us know they was leaving.
Huh.
That's the first and last time that we opened up for them.
Was it because of that incident with half the people in your dressing room, or it just worked out that way?
Well, I always told Russell that we could open up, but they never saw us as an opening act.
Mm.
Even today I hear people say, well, so and so said they don't want to come on after y'all. And our thing is, we're not trying to make you look bad. We're trying to do the best we can. So when you ask us to tone down our show, we can't tone down who we are.
Yeah.
And it's a disrespect for you to ask us to do that. Even today, a dude reached out to me and he said, listen, I want y'all to fake a battle with the Jurassic 5.
Huh?
And I said, fake a battle? I said, don't ask me to lie to my culture.
Yeah.
I said, we can play with the Jurassic 5. We can be on the same show. But don't ask us to fake a battle. Because if you put battle on that flyer, in that promotion, that's what's got to happen.
Yeah.
But these are things that people will do to fool the public or to mislead them. It's no reason that we have to battle anybody these days. I love the verses. I love seeing DMX and Snoop up there just enjoying each other's music. So that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say battle, it takes on a whole different life. That means show your skills. That don't mean show your fake skills. And people always say, well, no, it's like the confidence is with us. We're not trying to outdo you. We're trying to outdo ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it's always been. We don't sit around and say, oh, well, we got to do this and they going to do that. No, we just go through our show and try to put our show together the best possible way. We did old school battle throwdown 3 at at the Paramount at Madison Square Garden. They said, you got 12 and a half minutes. We said, okay. We took that 12 and a half minute. We changed clothes 3 times. You know, we did what we had to do in 12 and a half minutes.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
Well, again, you know, thank you for the history lesson. You know, thank you for, you know, being you, really, you know, making history. So,
I mean, it's been like I said, it ain't been it's been a hard road. It's been an easy road sometimes. Not rich, by no means rich. Um, Rich in life, rich in culture. I'm here with my family, my wife and my 2 kids. I'm a millionaire in that way.
wise words. So,
Yeah,
one last
she
question.
laying right there. She laying right there, so I mean it.
One last question. Where can we get your music now?
I just found a lot of it on Spotify. I mean,
Okay.
there's a couple of things that I didn't know that was out, that was up there, that a couple of my MCs put out on the internet. It's up there. Just you type in the Cold Crush Brothers, it'll come up.
Okay.
It'll come up. I mean, we even got a joint we did with KRS-One that was getting some airplay, but then something happened, so Jive Records killed it. But I think Chris put it out on a white label for a minute. You can even find that online. That's Cold Crush Brothers. Most of it'll come up.
Okay.
Cool beans.
All right. Well, again, thank you. You know.
Thank you. Peace and blessings, sir.
Right on.
All right. Our next DJ, DJ Supreme.
What's up, Tone?
What's up, sir?
First of all, I'm gonna say respect. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people run around. I know we sung rappers delight, but you know, my thing was fresh, wild, fly, and bold. You know,
okay.
Even to the point where they say, yo, JDL, what's happening? Where have you been? When are you rocking again? And when I'm bopping away, I hear a lot of them say, damn, they want to be like the L one day. That just was it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing else can top when he said that. But my question to you is, Harlem World, what was the best time you had at Harlem World?
Well, Harlem World was our world for a little while. We would have 5 parties for maybe 2 years. Every weekend we would have a party in every borough plus Jersey, and we would always leave Harlem World for the last party, because we know our fans at Harlem World would wait there till we got there. We used to get there at 4 o'clock sometimes, jump on, do a show, and then it's over. So Harlem World was a special place. Even the night we lost the battle to the Fantastic, before we got on the stage, the promoter said, listen, it's $1,000 on the table. The winner, I could give the winner 7 and the loser 3. We said, no, winner take all, either way. Now, the show that everybody hear on tape and record, it's about 20 minutes of our show missing, because we had a whole intro, gunshots, small machine, doctor coming out. We put a whole skit together before we actually went into the battle thing. And you can't see that on tape or on record. But, you know, we try to make it a real show. And we lost. But when people hear it, they say, how did y'all lose? They didn't do nothing. Hey, they had the crowd on their side that night. But it still was a good night. But Harlem World was Harlem World. I got some equipment from out of Harlem World in my garage right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, what's crazy was,
I mean,
what's crazy about that was, I was young. You know, I stayed right there, 116 Lennox and 7, so that was my block.
Okay.
And I always wanted to see you guys, but like you say, y'all came late, and my mom coming down the block to get me, and I got to walk back up the block with her, and I wouldn't see the show or nothing. You know, my sister never come back and tell me about it, and I had to always wait for the tape, man, and come through with the tape, $3 tapes, 2 for $5. I used to keep my money just to get those tapes, and I still got a lot of them. But
okay.
I was mad because I never could see y'all perform or Dr. Rock and the Fortune Machine. I couldn't see neither one of them. That's what I was always mad about.
Well, luckily some of us, we still around.
Yeah.
Still around. So you still got a chance to catch something.
But you know, I mess with Khalil, me and Steve London, you know, we all kick it still, you know, we talk time to time, you know.
Okay.
But it's not the same as seeing a live performance as if going to see Lil Wayne or somebody. You're not going to get that same energy, period.
Well,
they don't even ask the crowd to say hold no more. So I mean, it's gone.
Because they don't interact. They don't interact with the crowd. They don't make the crowd feel like they part of the show. And that's one thing we just did it naturally, because those was our, once we stepped on that stage, that was our family we was performing for. So we wanted everybody to leave feeling good and feeling like, wow, that was worth coming to, worth staying here this long. We came to a couple of places where they had to like sneak us in the back way because it was just so full coming through the front way. We've been in situations where 20 years later we found out like, yo, don't stick up the place until Cold Crush get on and do their show and out of here. You know, and we didn't even know that till we met a dude 20 years later. He's like, yo, remember that night y'all was in Brooklyn? The word was, don't stick up the place until Cold Crush get in here, do their show, and get out of here. But we appreciate that we had love like that, you know? So.
That's respect. That's definite respect. Most definitely. Even though it's kind of a bad situation, but at the same time, that's much respect, bro. That is much respect. When you guys got it like that, man, word is bond. That is respect.
I mean, what you then you had laws and then you had street laws. You know what I'm saying? So we dealing with street laws. And the street love is so much different.
Yeah.
So.
Indeed. So we down to the last couple DJs, I think. We got DJ Flame. I think she's back.
Okay.
DJ Flame, do you have anything? Okay. DJ Swerve, are you in the house? I knew he was working, so he may be traveling.
Okay.
So overall, sir.
Hello, can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry. That whole time I was like, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? What up, Big Tone? How you doing,
What's up,
baby? Big Tone is my big brother. I was just on the texting Baby D asking her, when did we meet Tone? When can we talk about when we met Tone? Tone, I know you over 42 years. I
But
forgot when we met.
Flame, you was you but y'all used to practice with us at Charlie House.
Yes.
We was helping y'all with a show.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all was supposed to been doing a show with Cool Herc at the PAL.
That's right.
And we was helping y'all with a show, and we was getting y'all intro together, and we was doing Walk On Isaac Hayes.
Yes, that's right.
And we was trying to put a show together with the intro and Walk On, but then I think the party got canceled, so it never happened.
Yeah, then we were supposed to do it at the Renaissance because my grades wound up falling, and my mom, she was like, nah, you can't do it. and baby D came to my mother, and she started begging her, Miss Hall, can you please let her DJ, please? We rehearse. And she said, well, I hope you rehearse real good because you're going to be doing that show without her. And I think the rest of the Mercedes ladies did that show. It wound up being at the Rennie.
Okay.
Yeah, that was crazy. I couldn't remember. Now, one of my questions to you, sir, is since Parkchester, how many creative records do you actually have in your garage?
Oh, my wife just said too many.
I heard her. I heard her. Don't be mad at me since I gave him at least a quarter of them, right?
We got I might be well over 500. If we call in crates, I might be well over 500.
Wow.
So
I
I
think
mean,
you're trying to
but
battle Bam right now.
I got my records.
Uh-huh.
Then DJ Leslie G from the Disco Enforcers. I got his records.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Randy from Hollowell Crew, God bless the dead. When he passed, I got his records.
Mm-hmm.
And I got
and you got my records
had DJ Hen G records from Jersey. I got about 300 crates from him.
Wow.
So
I think you try to battle. I think you try to battle Bam with the Massive Records.
No. I never battle. I'll never try that. I'm gonna tell you a story. Right, last year I was playing on the radio, and Bam called me, and I said, "Yeah, I'm on the radio tonight." So Bam said, "Okay, I'm gonna come up and hang out with you." So I'm playing joints, and Bam is just going through his stuff. The first record I'm playing, like, I might have been playing for like an hour. It was a 2 hour. So I said, well, Bam, I'll play the first hour. The first record he played, I'm like, whoa, hit me right in the head. Bang! Get out of here, kid. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that because that still let me know the master is always going to be the master.
Absolutely.
Bam and Cool Herc are the only two DJs that have played records, and I still don't know what those two records are till now. I still don't know what they are.
Wow. Well, everyone doesn't really know our connection, like, lately, as of late. I'm the director of Holy Hip Hop of Hip Hop Boulevard, and Toad is also a part of Hip Hop Boulevard. And wow, oh God, should I go into the other stuff? Okay, I'm a Mercedes lady. I was the last DJ to come into the Mercedes lady. The only female uptown DJ in the Bronx. The only female who had a residency at the T Connection. What else? What else, Tom? I can't remember. Help me out. It's Baby D. Come on. But I'm also a DJ. I'm a holy hip hop DJ on
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, on WHCR 90.3 FM. New
Holy
York.
hip hop.
So I'm also
Hey, well needed. Well needed.
am also one of the 3 female DJ MCs ever. Pioneer.
Hey, Flame, save all that so they can do an interview with you.
Huh? Oh, okay, no, I'm not doing interviews. I just,
I know, save it because you're gonna do an interview with them.
Oh God. Anyway, I'm the one that pushed her, Baby G, to get back out because she is one of the dopest DJs and the first female DJ in hip hop. And I'm just so elated that she's coming back and just gonna be an example for the culture. You know, she rep the culture. She's, the mother of the turntables, and I'm just excited. And she actually brought me into the Mercedes ladies. So I'm excited, to see what God is gonna do for her. And Tone, I love you, you know. Keep doing your thing. Curtis Sherrod, aka Mexi Ray of the, oh God, there's so many things, so many groups. I mean, you took me back also with the house parties. I mean, with the culture, with the house parties. Tone, that was phenomenal and some great questions. I'm just glad to be on. Thank you guys for just being who you are, repping, your territories, and just sharing and just open to receive that knowledge. Because there's not many people out here that's, willing to do that. They just want to, shine, if you will. So I salute you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
It's about the culture before me. It's about the culture before me.
That's it.
Yes, that's a powerful way to close out the interviews too. It's about the culture before me.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
You need to say that one more time. About the culture before me. Let me tell you, this has been truly, truly amazing, sir. You and Curtis, y'all came on. You guys talked about some stuff. Y'all have really rung some bells tonight. Just really.
Hey, listen. it's all in God. God give it, and I share it. That's what we. That's the focus of my mind. I couldn't do nothing without God. People around me, holding me up, helping me understand that life is not. I don't control life, but while I'm here, I gotta share it. I gotta share what I've been through. I've been through a lot of good times, but I have been through some bad times too. And when I need to share that, I share that because I want somebody to learn from my mistakes. I'm not just telling stuff to get praised or to be looked at as anything. I'm trying to share what I've been through so somebody could say, maybe I might not do that, or okay, let me be stronger in my thought about what this is. This politic thing, it's really like, got me thinking and got me upset. But then I realized, like, okay, if I'm getting upset, other people should be getting upset. So that's why I put that up last night. Because I want people to be willing to talk and not just hold it in. Say something. Because if we don't start saying something, they're going to keep saying what they want to say. And people going to keep acting like this is how everybody feel, so I'll just go with that. No, say what you actually feel.
Right. Hey, and you know what? Exactly. And that relates to that translate into just being real. And I always say, if you are real and you're not lying about anything, you guess what? You only have to say it once. There's no need to return to it and have to cover it up with anything or whatever. Everything that you say is factual and it can be received and be built upon so that it can be accelerated to the next level. Instead of it being one of those things where you're like, oh, this has changed again. So totally a beautiful conversation. Totally beautiful, the knowledge. And I remember back in the day in New York, we
The
used to get the
craziest thing
ballistics.
is,
I'm sorry, say that again, sir. Can you hear me?
no, well, you was breaking up, but go ahead, finish what you're saying.
I was just saying, back in the day when I was coming up in East New York, we used to call that kicking the ballistics. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yes, you put it out there and it's real, and we appreciate that.
But back in the days when dudes used to come home from jail, and people used to say, "Oh, he think he's so smart," and he trying to do. And I'm saying, now that I'm looking at that, I'm saying, well, maybe they learned something in there that they was trying to share with us.
Mm-hmm.
But being that they came out of jail, people was, putting them down in some kind of way. But you got a different teacher in jail, and you learning different stuff that the average person is not learning. But then, you know, it's like you can't question where it come from. If somebody's sharing something with you and it's thought provoking or it teaches you something, just accept it. Because a lot of people don't learn stuff from everybody. And it's like you don't know who God sent you with a message.
Indeed.
So
Yep, that's a fact. I always say that God works through you to relay a message to the person that's been asking for that answer.
I mean, sometimes some people say, "Oh, yeah."
So,
it's and you got to know what monster is in front of you. You got to know.
indeed.
So
Well, sir, I tell you like this on behalf of the group, the DJ Information Group, and all the other guests that have come on. Um, much appreciative, and we thank you for all the time that you have spent here with us, and through the whole time we have been captivated and mesmerized at all the knowledge that you have dropped on us, and we bow down and salute you. We definitely salute you, sir, because you've come in and you have really shared a great part of history that allows us to continue to add the pieces and this big puzzle that we have, and put those pieces in this puzzle now to complete that side of the puzzle, and you have managed to do that for us, and that is just beyond awesome. I have this word I say, and I call it spantabulous. And that means that's extremely appreciative. That's the extreme thanks, the extreme everything, outside of church where we say hallelujah, you know. Um, it's just really a blessing to have you here. It's a blessing to know you. It's a blessing to be in your present, although virtual. One of these days, I hope that I get a chance to get the opportunity to stand right next to you, be in front of you, watch you do your craft, everything. I would just love that, because of you did what you did, I now do what I do. So much appreciative on that. Much appreciative on that. And I salute you,
Listen,
sir. Yes.
thank you. It was a pleasure being here and sharing with everybody. Thank all the DJs that came on. I hear the sincerity in their voice. I can feel their presence. And that's what we got to do. We got to get that connection. We got to understand that. Let the music play, and the music will connect you one to one. And we all can become a unit when we get on the same page and we understand then what we're sharing. I don't want my kids to be able to see negative things, learn negative things. So I want to connect with positive people that's willing to share positive things to the community. So thank
All right. I'm wondering, did we lose him? Just really overall, tonight you have learned from a legend. You have had the opportunity to listen to someone who
There we go.
has brought. Oh, there you go. All right, sir. I didn't know if your phone had died or what.
Nah,
All right.
it had froze. I was just waiting to see what was going on.
Gotcha. So you could complete your message. You froze right in the middle of your message, sir.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, I felt the presence of a lot of the DJs. We can always become a unit as we grow, as long as everybody is pushing in the right direction. Like I said, when we was kids, they told us this wouldn't go nowhere. But we kept pushing it because we understood. A lot of us, not all of us, a lot of us understood what we was trying to put out there. I'm in the museum in Seattle, Washington. I'm in the Smithsonian. I'm in Cornell University. I'm in the first hip hop movie. I mean, a lot of firsts, and hopefully not the last. Just like a teacher never told me I could be in the Smithsonian. And I never thought that, but I am now. And I appreciate it. And I'm happy that I can share. My exhibit is there to share with the millions of people that come through there. It's not a plaque on the wall. It's a whole half a basketball court. My exhibit is. My sound system is in there. Information about who I am, who my group was, even the classic records that started hip hop is in there. I appreciate it. I appreciated my daughter saying, "Daddy," when she saw it, she started crying and she said, "Daddy, I appreciate this." That was the world to me. So I'm happy to share that with the community, with other people, kids, with other people. You know, and like I said, anytime y'all need. I could still see me.
Yeah, I think what's happening is your phone is getting tired on you, huh?
Nah, I plugged it in.
Oh, okay.
Hmm? Oh.
So again, sir, we really appreciate it. And of course, like you're saying, with the, being in Smithsonian, being, in the different locations of history. And what that means is you have a legacy and you have an impact that's going to last forever. And along with everything else that you've done, all your achievements, everything, um, all I can say, on behalf of the group and everyone, I think everyone would have the same sentiment that we just give you the biggest possible salute that from DJ to you, the legendary DJ, can absolutely give with the utmost respect. And we really, really appreciate you. And you are family. So we would love to see you again. We have some other things that we thought about, and we were like, you know what? We would love for DJ Tony Crush to come through on that. So we'll definitely talk to you about that more offline, and find out what your schedules are, and then go from there. But if you have nothing else, we'll end this particular conversation. And do you have anything else, sir, before I do that?
Well, hey, just peace and blessings to all the DJs, female and male. The whole culture. That's all.
Yes,
Each one teach one. Knowledge is king. Believe in all that. Believe in yourself. Push.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And those are great words to end by, and need no further tap onto that. So we will say good night, sir. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you.
Love you, Tony.
Love you, Tony.
Love you, man.
Hey, everybody get some rest. Peace and blessings. Good
You
night.
too. Good night. Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.